Showcase Beautiful in Pelham's Ballantree. Colleen and David Black, Keller Williams Realty, 356-5412. Call on Colleen.
Hey, this is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Friday, the 4th day of September. James Spann here, and we're all getting set to cruise into a holiday weekend. Let's talk about the weather. First off, some Skycam shots around the network this afternoon. First off, coming from Huntsville up in the Tennessee Valley. Sky partly sunny there. Here's a look at the sky from the campus of the University of Montevallo in Shelby County. Pretty much the same deal, partly sunny. And from Tuscaloosa. That's looking east from the top of the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse. Check out the water vapor satellite imagery this afternoon, and you can see that the winds aloft are pretty light across much of the nation, so no major severe weather problems, no big tropical systems to deal with over the weekend. That's a good thing. Let's look at the radar at 2:50. You know, we mentioned pretty much dry weather today, and we said there could be a rogue shower somewhere, and sure enough, we've got a couple of them. One down in Bibb County and a couple in Chambers and Tallapoosa counties, but most spots are dry, and we think most of the high school football stadiums will be dry tonight. And as expected, we did finally warm up today. Temperatures in the mid-80s were their forecast, 85 for Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, 84 for Anniston and Gadsden. Those were at 2 o'clock. And the rain for the next 5 days, this is suggesting the numbers are coming up, 1.5 inches for about the western half of the state, about 1 inch for East Alabama, and this is valid through Wednesday morning, and there's no doubt the first half of next week will be wet at times, and by golly, the weekend could feature a few showers as well, tomorrow and Sunday, as the models are coming in wetter. Quick peek at the tropics. The remnant wave that was Erica is over the Caribbean, and a wave out in the eastern Atlantic. The guys at NHC have ramped up the chance of that developing to a medium category now, just below the Cape Verde Islands. Erica just torn apart by wind shear. It's an open wave out there in the Caribbean. Looks very unhealthy, but by golly, the models still want to develop it and move it north across Hispaniola, and that, of course, is always a journey that doesn't bode well for any tropical system because of the terrain there, but if anything happens, it should go north off the east coast of the U.S., and look at that. The models still want to bring this thing up to a category or a hurricane in a couple of cases and a tropical storm in most cases. So we'll watch that, but again, certainly no impact here. That's the central Atlantic. The eastern Atlantic image from the European satellite is not up today, but you can see the outflow of that new wave in the far right-hand part of the picture, so we'll watch that over the weekend. Look at modeling. This is the 12Z GFS, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow, 1 o'clock Saturday. The polar jet is in Canada. And again, much of the nation with light winds aloft. And moisture beginning to show up a little better here. So we're going to go ahead and insert the risk of a shower tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night. Still, I don't think it's a big deal, but just the chance is there. Be aware of that, which means conceivably there could be a shower near Jordan-Hare Stadium for their Louisiana Tech game, the Auburn game. Again, I don't think it'll be a big problem, but just the chance is there. And Sunday, the moisture looks a whole lot deeper now, and that's been pretty consistent on the last couple of runs, so we'll bring in the chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm in spots on Sunday. And Labor Day, a pretty moist air mass in place, although this is suggesting the deeper moisture could be over the western side of the state. We'll mention a good chance of showers statewide. Tuesday, we all go back to work. Shows some drying over North Alabama, but I'm not so sure about that. We're going to mention a chance of showers. In fact, really every day next week we will. There's Wednesday. That looks pretty moist. Thursday, same deal. Very moist air mass. And a week from today. So really next week looks a little unsettled and showery. And chance of showers just about every day. Probably nothing too heavy, but maybe throughout the whole week some spots could pick up an inch of rain. Into the forecast, this is the 20th of September. Pretty strong trough rotating off the upper Atlantic coast. Dry air in place. And once again, familiar theme, we see no sign of any tropical mischief in the Gulf of Mexico for the next 15 days. Very quiet so far this season. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. My next video, we'll crank out one Labor Day, probably about mid to late morning. Brian Peters will have the video updates both tomorrow and Sunday. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.
Weather.